ndodhemi këtu në Hagë, në Holland, ku pas parafërsisht një muaji ose saktësisht me 3 prill do të fillojë edhe procesi gjyqësor ndaj ish-krerëve të ushtrisë lirimtare të Kosovës, ish-presidentit të Kosovës Hashim Thaçi, ish-kryetarit të Kuvendit Jakub Krasnisi, ish-shefi të grupit parlamentar të Lëvizjes Vetëvendosje Recep Selimi, si dhe ish-kryetari të Kuvendit të Kosovës Kadri Veseli. Në ndërtesën prapa nesh, ne jemi ekipi i parë nga rajoni si Klan Kosova që kemi fituar të drejtën e filmimit dhe aty do të pyesim ndër të tjera se si zhvillohen procedurat, ku qëndrojnë avokatët, prokurorët, gjyqtarët dhe të akuzuarit, pse nuk ka një flamur të Republikës së Kosovës në gjykatore, cili është historiati i kësaj ndërtese dhe pritje të tjera që janë nga procesi i gjykimit. Po ashtu në pjesën e dytë të këtij emisioni Rubikon, ju do të keni mundësinë ta ndisni edhe një intervistë që gazetari Besnik Tahiri bashkë me kameramanin Erard Hyseni kanë zhvilluar me autoren e librit Gjykimi i papërfunduar i Miloševićit, ligjëruesën Neveka Trump.
Thank you, Angela. Can you tell us where we are, in which building, and what is the beginning of this building?
Of course, and first of all, welcome to the Kosovo Specialist Chambers. You are here at the public entrance of the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, and here you have the lockers. You will see when we go up to the public gallery that no electronic device is allowed up there, so people can put in these lockers their jackets, their phones, their smart watches, or whatever else they don't want to carry around with them. They'll be safely locked here, and then they can go into the public area.
So through this door, who enters through this door? All the visitors?
Anybody who visits the specialist chambers. So usually it's people who come for a public hearing, who want to attend a hearing before the court, or it could also be group visits, like many students, many law students are interested in the, international justice. They travel to The Hague and visit all the courts. We are one of them, so it could also be a student group coming in here for a visit. These visits are similar to our outreach meetings in Kosovo. We explain the mandate, the proceedings. People can ask questions, express their opinion, their concerns, and we try to explain as much as we can.
Judges, prosecutors, lawyers, they have a separate entrance, of course.
They have a separate entrance. They go directly into the courtroom. Right, let me show you.
Where are we going now?
We are now going up on the public gallery.
Actually, so tell us what these doors
So this is basically the public area, which is open to the public. And behind these doors is then where all the offices start. Maybe I can tell you a little bit about the building. You can see it's a very old building. It has a lot of history. It started off as a boys' school. During the Second World War, the Germans occupied this building. This is how the bunker that you can see from the outside, there's a big round thing, that's a bunker that was built by the Germans, and this building became part of the German Atlantic Wall strategy. After the war, the Dutch authorities took over this building, and I think it was police and certain other Dutch authorities. Until then, at some point, Europol moved into this building, stayed here for...
When was it? When did Europol move in?
I am not sure, 2008, 2009. They then built their own building and moved out in 2011. This building had become too small for them. And then it was for a very short time rented out to artists, actors, dancers who were ready to rent this building and the space in the building for a short time and for a little or lesser money, but they would have a short notice because then at some point the renovation works would start when this building was turned into what it is now, which is a court building which has all technical equipment to stream hearings in the 3 languages, to be able to provide press briefings in all the 3 languages of the court. And yeah, to have a modern courtroom that we'll see from the public gallery.
Yeah, so who's allowed to come in here, for example, when they want to see a hearing or be visitors like us?
Yeah, anybody who has a valid ID is allowed to attend public hearing. That's all you have to have with you. Here usually you see what hearings are on during the week. This week there's no hearings, so we have a placeholder saying no hearings. Journalists, of course, are always welcome. Students are welcome, but also anybody who walks by, sees there's a public hearing, is interested and has an ID with them, can come in and follow the hearing from the public gallery.
Who sits in here, or this is just like a...
It's just an open space, so maybe there's a break in the hearing, people don't want to go outside, they can sit here. Or sometimes we use it to provide information material. We just print out the case information sheets in case people are interested to get more information, or our annual reports, so that people, if they want to, can get more information about the court while they are here.
And all the writings that we see everywhere are in 3 languages, one of them being Albanian and Serbian.
Yes, of course. So the official languages of the court are Albanian, Serbian, and English, and everything, all the descriptions are, of course, in the 3 languages of the court. Also, all official court documents either are already or will be at some point available in the 3 languages of the court.
So we are basically the first TV crew to film the inside of the building.
There was a TV crew before you, but it was not a Kosovo TV crew. Okay. You are the first Kosovo TV crew filming inside the building.
Okay, so after this point, no phones allowed, right?
That is correct. So here's the second scanner only for those people who go up on the public gallery. And as I said before, on the public gallery, there is no electronic device, no recording device, no cameras allowed. So that would have to be left in the lockers that I showed you before.
Or in this case, we just leave them there?
In this case, there's nobody around, so then we can just leave them here, exactly. Usually then, of course, you go through the scanner as well, so people can also not hide any electronic devices. Not that they want to, but...
Your call is registered. Please wait. Yeah.
Yes, Angela, 1 second. My colleague is coming your way.
Thank you.
So Angela, tell us, where are we entering now, and what is this that we are seeing?
So we are entering the public gallery now. From here, people can follow the public proceedings. And what you can see at the moment is how the curtain is going up in order for people to be able to see the hearing. So
who sits here, basically?
Anybody who would like to attend a public hearing will sit here.
So families, diplomats, students, our visitors?
Yes, family, diplomats, student, visitors, family members a lot, also of the accused. Of course, they want to see what is happening in front of the court. And in case we have an overcrowded public gallery, which is hardly ever the case, we have 71 seats, so there's a lot of space. But in case there's too many people, then family members always have priority.
And it's going to get crowdier when the trial starts in April?
Potentially, I would expect for the opening statements, it will be very crowded. So that's when usually anybody can walk in. If we expect that a lot of people will come, then we ask for pre-registration so that we can make sure that, for example, family members have a space, that media has a chance to film, or not to film, but to cover the hearing. And yeah.
So when media representatives are here, they're only allowed to have a pen and something to write
That
on.
is right. There would be the old school.
No phones, nothing.
No phones, no computers, not even smartwatches. But As you will see, you can always say, okay, now I have my story, now I need to write it, and then you can go down to the media center and type it there. And you can have your laptop there, your phone, your everything. So.
And when the detainees came here, can you tell us in which entrance they are getting into the court?
Yes, but you won't see it from here because it's underneath. This is from where they enter.
When the proceeding starts, who sits where?
So the judges come in through that door. So you can see them enter when you sit in the public gallery. They sit down at these benches. You always have, if it's a trial panel, 3 judges and 1 reserve judge, so that proceedings can continue even if one judge is not available for whatever reason. In front of the judges is usually court management and chamber support staff supporting the judges. Then here, this big part is all for the defense to your right. This is where the defense teams sit and also where the accused sit if they attend a hearing from the courtroom. On the other side, over there, you have the prosecution sitting, and right besides the prosecution to the left is reserved for victims' counsel, and sometimes the registry has a representative sitting there in case there's no space anywhere else in the courtroom.
And there about, probably there is translation, right?
Exactly. So up there you have the translation booth, so we can make sure that our proceedings are interpreted and translated into the 3 languages of the court, Albanian, Serbian, and English. And down there you have a little window, well, it's quite big actually. This is where our audio-video team is sitting, and they will be recording all public hearings. And once we have the public version of the hearing, you can also watch the hearings on YouTube. So we make them available for people who don't have time while the hearing is happening, so that anybody who wants to see what happened in the courtroom can do so in their own time.
Yeah. Do you have issues with the translation, for example, maybe in Serbian or in Albanian?
No, not. I know that there were some technical problems at the beginning, especially when there was protective measures. But that was technical issues in regards to voice distortion. Those were solved, and it was also thanks to the journalists in Kosovo, actually, who were very fast and immediately informed us that person is not understandable, so we could act rather quickly.
So you changed the person?
No, it's a technical thing. So every voice sounds differently and needs a different type of distortion. If you have a higher voice, a lower voice, it's a different way how your voice is then still understandable but distorted. So that's technical issues where we had at the beginning some problems. I believe those are solved, but in case you spot any, please let us know. We are always grateful. Translation-wise, I've talked to a colleague of mine, and there are very few occasions where there are misunderstandings in the courtroom, and they could solved during the hearings, so that I would say there's no problems that concern the proceedings. Yeah. Because the witness is placed underneath here, so you can't see the witness from here. And
so no one sees the witnesses; they are based underneath here.
No one in the public gallery sees the witnesses. You can see that, of course, the defense, the accused, all the other parties can see the witness. But from here, nobody sees the witness unless the witness appears on screen. And then, either the witness has no protective measures as decided by the judges, and then you see a person testifying, or I guess what you've seen online, you see a person with face and voice distortion. But this is only if the judges decided that in this specific case it is necessary that these protective measures are being used.
We have one other question, where the detainees being brought from the Scheveningen detention center. First, where do they stand? Because they don't come directly into the court, right?
Oh, okay. So there is dedicated rooms for them where they can be while they are waiting for the hearing to start, or also during breaks. And if it's a long hearing, there is also, of course, meals and drinks provided for them. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, on security terms, they do inform you when they want to come here. They've been brought here from the detention center, right? They are saying, well, we're going to take them at, for example, 9:30, right? And you have
Those
to be
are
prepared.
operational matters that I wouldn't know, because I don't welcome the detainees, I welcome the journalists, so they come much later. So on those operational matters, I cannot tell you how this exactly works. I can tell you they are being brought by the Dutch authorities from the detention center in Scheveningen here to the building. Then they have dedicated rooms for them here in the building, and yeah, most of the time, I mean, they are here to be in the courtroom, so most of the time they spend, of course, then in the courtroom.
But there is no detention center in this facility, in this building here?
There's no detention center in this building. There are dedicated rooms for the detainees to be in while they are waiting for a hearing. But for example, facilities like they have in the detention center, to have a common room to sit together, to have visitors, all these things, we don't have the capacity for that here. This is only for them to attend a court hearing.
How many people do work here?
I do not know the exact number. It is roughly around 300, but that includes the prosecution and also the registry and the chambers. But I cannot give you a breakdown. I don't know. I can try to find the numbers for you, but I don't know them by heart.
Once on the, for example, there is impossible to see for a Kosovo flag inside the building, right?
Yes, so we only have our own flags. Basically, the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, as you know, operates within the judicial system of Kosovo, but its legal framework basically provides that it operates completely independently from Kosovo institutions and also from any other external actors, basically. So we don't have state flags of Kosovo. We've been asked quite often, because there's a law, I believe, in Kosovo that certain institutions have to have the state symbols. So for the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, when the Assembly approved the law on Specialist Chambers and Specialist Prosecutor's Office, in that law it says that for the Specialist Chambers and Specialist Prosecutor's Office, Kosovo law only applies if it's specifically mentioned in the law on Specialist Chambers and Specialist Prosecutor's Office. The law on symbols is not part of that.
We saw quite a small sign of Kosovo Specialist Chambers outside. No big sign, no
No, there is nothing big out there. No.
You want to be more neutral, or you do work according to the law?
Neutral in the sense of independent, and of course we work according to the law that applies before the Kosovo Specialist Chambers.
And they go along with you.
So this is the dedicated room for the media. Cameramen can connect to these screens that will stream the delayed feed from the public, not from the public gallery, but from the public proceedings. And it gives them the opportunity to record the hearing in a very good quality. At the same time, of course, anybody can record the hearing from their computer at home, because they are all, it's the same stream.
Actually,
that is being
everything that you
shown.
get here is the same what we get
It's exactly the same that you get at home, just that it may be easier to connect. I don't know what you need in order to record a hearing from the computer at home. Here you can just connect to the screen and record it from there. And then, of course, it has the possibility, you can, as a journalist, be up on the public gallery, come quickly back down here, put your laptop on the table and draft your article and send it before you go home. So that saves journalists a lot of time. And then also, of course, we are here, so in case journalists have a question, it's easy for them to to ask their questions, and we can provide clarifications whenever
Here
needed.
the door is open all the time. You can go out and come in as much as
If
you
there are
like.
journalists in here, they get a press pass, and with the press pass you can open that door. So at no point would you be locked in here as a journalist.
But no way they are going to report anyhow from here. They need to go outside and report, for example, live, because in our case we are TV journalists.
Often it is the case that the journalist goes up on the public gallery and the cameraman records from here, and then they bring everything together afterwards. You can report from here. We've also had journalists sit here with a group of journalists and then go over to the press briefing room to do an interview with someone, or to just go over with a cameraman to make a statement from the court in front of the logo of the court. So you can report from here. It depends on what you want to have on camera, basically.
Yeah. Are the Kosovo journalists beginning to be interested to follow, especially
Yes.
when the Thaçi and all case begins?
Yes, we've had a few requests also to help with visas for us to facilitate for certain hearings that journalists can come and report from here. And of course, we are aware that we are relocated, and we want to do what we can to enable journalists to report also from The Hague. I think we've done quite a bit to enable journalists to be able to report about the hearings from Kosovo, but we've been told that it is a little bit different in terms of atmosphere when you're actually here in The Hague. So we understand that there is a desire to be here, and we facilitate that as much as we can. There's been quite a few requests from Kosovo journalists lately to be here.
Have you been successful with this visa issue? Because we know we have this issue all the time.
Yes, so if you really, if you need to come for a specific time in order to, I want to cover the opening statements from 3rd to 5th April, then please let us know. We can help you to get a visa appointment. Of course, you have to have all your documents ready, and you have to go to the visa appointment yourself, but we can help you facilitate that.
And how about the international journalists? Are they interested to follow this case?
Yes, we have regular international journalists here in the media room who follow the proceedings. They're not always here, but they do follow. They also, at some point called me and told me the press briefing, we can't attend most of the time, but please keep going, because we go to the website and we get a summary of the proceedings every week so that we keep updated on what is happening in the... This setup is actually like it is during a press briefing. I have the participants there on Zoom, so I can see who's actually attending. I can see if anybody has a question. And if in case we had that as well, if there are journalists in the media center, of course they're welcome to sit down and participate in the press briefing also live. We then have a portable microphone so that also what they say can be translated into the 3 languages. And otherwise we also use this room for group visits.
The translators they have full-time job with the Kosovo Special Chambers?
The translators have a full-time job. I just checked, because I wasn't sure what you wanted to know about translations. I just checked the number of pages that have been translated, and we are at 38,000, just to give you an idea of the scope. So yes, they are full-time staff. There may also be some contractors that I don't know, but definitely.
Are we going to see the president of the court more often in the future? For example, in here, making statements or giving interviews? Because there's a high expectation and interest in Kosovo about the work of this court.
I will pass that interest on. Of course, the president has a very full schedule, so I don't know how often she will be able to be here in the press briefing room and talk to journalists, but I do know that she is very dedicated to do that as often as she can, to engage with the Kosovo public and with the Kosovo media.